Hello, our safety friend. Welcome to HSE Learning Guide. Today, we're going to talk about IOGP Life Saving Room. So, you can actually find this document in the IOGP website. IOGP stands for International Association of Oil and Gas Producers. So, basically, this is one of the document that you might want to explore in terms of implementing some of good practices in your company. So this is 459 report. It is published on August 2018. It talks about life saving rule. So let's go deep into it. Alright, if you see here, in 2010, IGP published a set of life-saving rules to mitigate risk and reduce fatality in the oil and gas industry. But you might want to consider this in other industry as well, where some of the life-saving rule that you can actually implement and in other industry. So these were derived from analysis data reported in IOGP. So there's 1484 fatality incident and 1173 high potential event. Following this simple rule could prevent around 70% of fatalities. So if you implement correctly this 9 life-saving rule, it could actually prevent 70%. So imagine if you have 100 fatalities, you can reduce it to 30 only. So that's how big of the impact of life-saving rule. Over 80% of workforce and around 80% fatality were contracted employee. So since contracted employee are the one who are facing this situation, they are working at site performing the work. So the most exposure are towards contracted employees. Contractors are required to learn numerous process requirement for each client, even though the appropriate practice activities risks are fundamentally the same. So you might have all different companies with different procedure. However, they are actually fundamentally the same in terms of managing the work. So these are the statistics that you can refer here. Alright. So in 2018, they re-examined the applicability of the life-saving rule in 2010. With the revision, IGP launched a simplified set of life-saving rule. So this is the simplified version to provide worker in the industry with the action that they can take to protect themselves and their colleagues from fatalities. Like I said lah, these are simplified version of the life-saving rule that you can actually implement. So initially they had 18, then they reduced into 9, simplified version. So they want to standardize the life-saving rule across the oil and gas industry to enable transfer of knowledge, experience and lesson learned, increase individual awareness and ownership of critical safeguard and to prevent fatalities. Is a step towards a industry-wide common safety language, improve clarity and allow consistent use for contractor and operator doing the similar work at work the world. Nothing much here. Okay, let's go straight into the life-saving rule. So, if you remember, there were actually 18 life-saving rule. Now, we have 9. So, what are the 9 life-saving rule that we want to talk about? Okay. First thing first, bypass safety control. Second, confined space. Third, driving. Fourth, energy isolation. Hot work. Line of fire. Working hard. Work authorization. Safe mechanical lifting. And that's it. So there's 9 of them. Let's go one by one for each one of them. So bypass safety control. To obtain authorization before override or disable safety control. So these are the questions that you should ask yourself prior bypassing safety control. Do you understand and use the safety critical equipment and procedure which apply to my task? Do I obtain authorization before disable or override safety equipment? Do I obtain authorization before deviate from the procedure or crossing a barrier? So you should ask yourself prior bypassing safety control. So in terms of confined space, to obtain authorization before entering confined space, I confirm energy source are isolated. I confirm the atmosphere has been tested and monitored. So basically, we talk about gas testing. Gas testing. This is more towards log out, tag out. I check and use my breathing apparatus when required. So depends on if it's respirable, irrespirable, or in an entry. On this would determine the requirement of breathing apparatus. I confirm there is attendant standing by. So authorized entrance, standby person. So you must make sure that standby person are there when you are performing work. I confirm rescue plan are in place. So prior execution of confined space activity, you must have rescue plan and also ventilation plan, so that the workplace that you are working in or the confined space that you work into is safe. I obtain authorization to enter confined space. So this tie with PTW or confined space cert. Alright, next, driving. Follow safe driving rules. I always wear seatbelt. I do not exceed the speed limit and reduce my speed for the road condition. I do not use my phone and operate device while driving. I am fit, rested and fully alert while driving. I follow journey management requirement. So these are the common thing that you want to follow whether you are at your workplace or at home. Right. Next, in terms of energy isolation, you need to verify isolation and zero energy before begin work. So for some of the company, they have cert that they need to exercise prior work execution. Usually for isolation, you have electrical energy isolation or physical energy isolation. The thing that you have to ask yourself, I have identified all the energy source. I confirm hazardous energy source have been isolated, locked and tagged. This is important, yeah. To isolate, lock, so that people cannot easily open it, and tag, so that it is being communicated properly. I have checked that is zero energy and tested the residual or stored energy. Right, next, hot work. Control flammable and ignition source. I've identified and control ignition source. Before starting any hot work, I confirm the flammable material has been removed and isolated. I've obtained authorization. This usually via permit to work. Before starting hot work in the hazardous area, I have confirmed a gas test has been completed and gas will be monitored continually. You might want to add, for example, when you are performing certain hot work activity, you want to have a welding blanket, fire blanket, or anything related to managing the hot work activity surrounding the area. Alright. Next, line of fire. Keep yourself and other out of line of fire. I position myself to avoid moving vehicle, pressure release, drop object, and others. So basically, anything within your vicinity of line of fire. So you have to be aware on this item. I establish and obey barrier and exclusion zone. I take action to secure loose object and report potential drop object. So basically, when people are performing, for example, scaffolding activity, they would actually barricade the area. It is advised to not enter the barricaded area as it is a zone for falling object. That's one of the example. Alright, next. Safe mechanical lifting, plan lifting operation, control the area. I confirm that equipment and load has been inspected, fit for purpose. So basically, you have to have an inspection checklist to ensure that all your equipment are intact. At the same time, you need to have a lifting plan to ensure that the load that you are lifting is not more than the factor of safety. I only operate equipment that I'm qualified with. So basically, you need to have a competency. For example, for those who are managing the equipment at the site, you need to have a rigging, slinging competency. Or if you are the one who are policing lifting plan, then you need to have a lifting supervisor role. I establish and obey barrier and exclusion rule. So zone, for example, you need to have a barricaded area of the work related. I never walk under suspension. So this is big no. Uh, ensure that people surrounding the area does not enter the barricaded area, and always in communication with people around you. Second last, work authorization, work with valid permit when required. I have confirmed if the permit is required. I'm authorized to perform the work. I understand the permit. I confirm the hazard control and it's safe to start, and I stop reassess if condition changes. So basically, overall management of PTW, you have a lot of section in it, and you have to understand and go through each processes one by one and ensure all the mitigation are in place prior work execution. Working at height, protect yourself against the wall when working at height. I inspect my fall protection equipment. So for example, you have body harness, it must be inspected, ensure that the item, the body harness in a good condition. I secure tool and work material to prevent drop object. So you might want to consider, if you are working at height, canvas or small object being secured. Additionally, I tie 100% to approved anchor point while outside of protected area. So sometimes when you are performing this activity, you need to have personal engineer that approve the anchorage point. I think that's all from me. So quick summary. There's 9 life-saving rule. bypass safety control, confined space, driving, energy isolation, hover, line of fire, safe mechanical lifting, work authorization, and working height. um, I hope that you enjoy this session. See you in the next session on the part 2 of life saving rule. Thank you.